this on my Facebook. All right, shall I start it? This is the one time I'm not going to actively try to spread our stupid show because the stupid Bears fans are excited about beating my team once this flipping decade. I'm going to try not to say the words I want to say. Oh, wait, yeah. Hold on. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just remember one team's in the playoffs and one isn't.
Doesn't matter. It's what have you done for me lately?
You kicked a game-winning field goal in a meaningless game.
We
Not
should
for
have
you
kicked
guys.
2 game-winning field goals.
That's correct. We pulled the Kansas City Chiefs on your ass. We almost pulled a goose egg in the division. Isn't that fun? The Packers almost were a playoff team while going 0-6 in the division. I'm actually concerned. I'm not going to lie. My name is Isaac, co-host of this stupid flipping show. I don't even want to say the name.
The cheesy bear.
Yeah. This is gonna suck.
Thanks, Mafia.
Thank you, sir.
So
okay.
So what do you want to go with, Isaac? Do you want to talk about the obvious, or do you want to talk about the obvious?
My team just lost to the shit show known as the Chicago Bears.
Now, you're on your Facebook page too. Now there won't be any of that potty language here.
The Packers lost to the Chicago Bears in a game they didn't really need.
No. I don't hear no excitement. Usually for the past 5.5 years, we've been hearing about how y'all been clowning us, how y'all been putting it to us every single year, and this year it didn't happen. So tell me, how does it feel? How does
it feel to lose the New England Patriots? How does it feel? How does it feel? It probably feels the same as it did when you lost 19-3 to the Patriots. Probably about that bad.
I think it feels worse for y'all.
Actually, I'm going to be honest. We're still 11-1 this decade. What I'm more annoyed about is the fact that Jordan Love looks like straight garbage.
It's only been a half a decade. There's still another half a decade to go, and I mean, from what it looks like, y'all might want to get used to this.
Oh, not to you guys.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's going to be to us guys.
Oh yeah.
What is it going to be? The Packers and Bears to the bottom of the division?
I hope you're ready to get worked like Debbie in Dallas.
Okay, so hold on. Let me get this straight. We are 26-5 against y'all in the last 31 matchups.
What have you done for us lately? That's all we hear is Bears.
We split this year.
No, you lost, but did you split the last game?
See, you know what's funny is I went on NFL Data this week, and they were like, you want the Bears to win. Right after I've said it to them, and I hope I sound good. I'm on headphones for the first time, but Andy said this bull crap. Peter, you love this show. It's on Freezing 4. And NFL Outdated, where I've said, Andy, you want the Bears to win because if they do, you're going to have material all off-season long. Mm-hmm. And God dang it, I wish that hadn't happened. Because now I'm going to hear this crap.
I mean, it's all good.
Not even that mean.
They should go ahead and rename it from Lambeau Field to Caleb's Crib because it's just been so amazing to see what has just happened. We're sitting there, we're just gonna own it for the way it is.
I'm happy like people are watching this right now. You don't want to tune in today, guys. I'm not gonna be on my best behavior. You don't want to watch this crap.
No. They want to watch this because
Go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing and spread it, and you just go ahead and let me have it.
no. I'm good. I'm gonna be somewhat nice.
I will. Okay. In all seriousness, I'm going to say this: the Jalen Hurts thing gives the Packers a chance to actually pull off an upset, but I don't think this team's going anywhere. They got to get. If the Packers had the Bears receiving core,
Ooh.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if the problems I have are three. I got three problems with the Packers. They don't have a pass rush. I could probably be their best pass rusher right now. Med probably get 12 sacks on that D right now. Our defense Rashawn Gary made the Pro Bowl with 3.5 sacks. What is that? Sorry. Yeah. I'm really gonna try not to say bad words. I want to, but I'm not gonna. We don't have a pass rush. We don't have a number one receiver, and our only explosive threat, because for some reason Jaden Reed isn't that anymore. It just tore his ACL. We don't have we didn't have a number one before that. I've been making that argument. I don't see the number one on this team. I just don't. And the run D has gotten better. Edgerrin Cooper looks like a stud. I love Xavier McKinney, but man, this receiving core is leaving a lot to be desired, especially down Christian Watson. And now Jair's out. We got to go get us. We got a few spots. We got to go get a receiver, a corner, and a pass rusher. And I know that's greedy. I know the Packers won't do all that. But if they want to take strides and not fall backwards and fall out of the playoffs next year, this is something I'm going to say. Oh, yeah, whatever. Don't throw that comment up. Whatever.
Hold on.
If the Packers don't want to go backwards next year and fall out of the playoffs because now they're back-to-back 7 seeds, if they want to take a step forward, thanks, Damian. If they want to take a step forward, they got to fix this problem. And you know what? I'm a little worried about Jordan Love, man. He just doesn't look like he's regressing. I mean, I'm not saying Caleb's like the second coming of anything. He looked okay this year behind, decent behind a battle line. But I don't know, man. Like, that game wasn't that important, but it's been over several games now.
Yeah.
How's that game not important? I mean, it's the
only
rivalry.
Difference is if Washington, yeah, that's true. But we sacked Josh Jacobs too, so we weren't trying. Once Watson and Love got hurt, we took Jacobs out. That's
that was the smartest thing you could have did.
It is. So we weren't playing for anything. Washington took Jaden Daniels out. Both teams didn't care if they won. It was really interesting. Jaden had mild knee soreness, and Dan Quinn took Jaden Daniels out. Jordan Love, from all accounts, could have gone back in, but LaFleur was like, you stay out. And then Willis got banged up, so we almost threw him back in. But after watching freaking Christian Watson tear his ACL and Love get banged up, they were like, okay, yeah, Jacobs, get out. Deuces.
So the way that I look at this, and Peter, you can go before me before I start going into it, because I'll segue into the actual matchup.
Okay. I know part of it with this was even with the injuries and stuff like that is the one thing that where Willis got like nailed by, I forget who it was, but our slot blitz guy that had come in. You're a right-handed quarterback and you don't see him coming directly at you.
Yeah.
I don't know where he was looking, but there's no way you should be able to miss that.
I agree. And I only caught part of the game. I was out with the fam. I'm going to prioritize the playoffs, but I actually only watched a little bit of the game. Boo-hoo. What's your team, bud? I want you to drop it in the comments. Just do that.
Oh, he's a Bears fan. You already know it.
If you're a Bears fan, congratulations on another top 10 pick. Good job.
Man, that sounds like someone that's pretty salty that just lost a game.
Well, and think of it this way. You keep congratulating us on top 10 picks. How do you think the Lions built what they have, and you guys haven't beaten them in how long?
Yeah, but you guys don't have the ownership, the GM, or the coach.
Well, we used to say the same thing about the Lions.
Yeah.
True story. You guys may hire the right coach. I don't know if Poles is the right GM, even though he's made good moves. I don't know if he's the right guy to build the O-line.
There is someone that is actually linked to the Bears right now, and I was like, please don't let it be him. And it's Mike.
Yeah, please no.
So, how would you feel
Mhm.
if
Mhm.
Mike McCarthy came back and just started to be your daddy? I mean, it's just
Dude,
one of those things where, what if he comes in? I mean, he's got the receiving core. He's got.
I swear, if Mike McCarthy is the Bears coach, I'm gonna and he does good. I'm gonna quit podcasting. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna retire.
Don't say that now because it looks like it might be happening.
I flip and hope not.
Be interesting too, because it was funny how he was saying, Med, that he wasn't looking forward to the show and didn't want to see you, and then he goes and invites me on, like I'm going to be any nicer to him today.
Oh, it's because I want to have fun with y'all. You deserve your moment. You haven't had it. I haven't even. I've known Med like a year and a half now, and the Bears have not beaten the Packers, so he deserves his time in the sun.
Correction.
I want to see. Now you have. Yeah. I wanted to see happy Med. It brings me joy when Med's happy. So even though that's at the expense of my Packers, the last time the Bears were 4-2, I saw shades Med like today. And Peter, I was like, let's just do it. Y'all deserve your moment. I almost invited another Bears fan just so
if you would have did that, then you would probably be like hanging yourself in that closet in the background. Because NFL outdated, he would just sit you up and just start throwing darts at you.
Oh, Detroit Sports Podcast just sent me an LMAO on Twitter when the score was 30. Yeah. when the score, because I actually turned that game off too, man. I've had a busy weekend.
So the only thing I could say, like I said, we're going to segue this into what we're going to be talking about, which is all the playoff matchups that are going up right now. And really, truthfully, the one thing that I will say about this past game is it felt like you lost more than just a game. Because you've had a couple of injuries and stuff like that, Christian Watson, and you're looking at Jordan Love with a possible injured elbow on his throwing arm. So that's going to suck for y'all a little bit. It was smart for y'all to get Josh Jacobs out there because who knows, he would have probably ripped his Achilles out or something like that as well. And you're looking at you talked a little bit about it earlier with Jalen Hurts also not coming out of concussion protocol just yet. Yep. And that does hurt them a little bit, but at the same time, I really like Tanner McKee. I thought he was actually a pretty decent quarterback when he was at Stanford.
But if the Packers can't beat a backup for Philly, then they don't belong anywhere in the playoffs. Just saying.
Don't rain on my parade.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Have your moment. Have your moment.
I mean, look, the Packers are still a top 10 team on both offense and defense. The only question that we have for you is, I mean, you look at what Hanley has done with the defense. I mean, he transformed it from a 3-4, which is something y'all been running since Dom Capers back in the 90s, all the way up until now. And this is the first time y'all have experimented with the 4-3, and it actually has netted some results. Now, granted, yes, your pass rush is shit, but
it is.
But your run defense is actually better now. And you played some scrubs.
But damn, man, this pass rush is lacking so much. But here's the thing. We're a good team.
It has no risk. I get that.
You guys are actually probably one of the better good teams in the league. You're not actually that bad. You compete with teams.
Oh, we got Flus.
It's going to, you got Flus. It's going to come down if you guys get the right coach. And if Poles has got to get Caleb a line, or Caleb's not going to be a franchise quarterback because he's going to take too many hits. So we're going to find out this offseason. That's your guys' biggest need. Our biggest need is pass rush. And people are going to hate me for this, but I disagree. Jason's great. I love him. One of my favorite people. It is. He's right. The Packers pass rush is worse than the Bears. Statistically, it's not. It just eyeball test. You can see it. But we don't have a bunch of number ones. The Packers have a decent receiving core that would look even better with an alpha. It would look amazing because then those dudes would fit into their roles and they could grow, and potentially we could have a 1A, I think. But it's just not there. And it's lacking. The problem is you can look great against a Tennessee. You can look great against what's another bad team we played? The Saints. I don't know. There's plenty of them. We beat a lot of bad teams this season. It's the unfortunately, while there's parity in the NFL, and the Bears aren't a good example of this because they're better than the record shows. I'm not just saying that to make the Packers look better. We look like straight heaping garbage against Minnesota in the first half. There's a big gap between the actual good teams in the league and the bad teams. And and teams like Dallas last year, Miami last year, Green Bay this year, although we competed with the good teams, it was different than Dallas where they got just destroyed. We competed in every game against a good team, even if it was garbage time. We at least were good enough to score those garbage time points. There's still a gap, though. And if we want to get over that hump, we've got to get serious about the pass rushing receiver. And the Bears have got, if they want to compete in this tough flipping division, y'all got to protect Caleb. And you still need some more pieces on defense. The defense isn't like elite, it's just solid.
Peter, go ahead.
I'm done ranting for a while.
It is. I would think if the offensive line gets shored up, I don't know that we need our defense to be elite if we're able to improve the offense by that much, because I think Caleb has shown he is that guy. So that would be one thought with it. Other one, and I know it's looking like Hurts may not play or whatever again for the Eagles against you guys, but run defense has improved. But doing it against Saquon is a very different thing. It doesn't take Jalen Hurts turning around 40 times a game to get Saquon the ball.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I just think like the Packers run D is up to 5th. The Bears run D is all the way down at 25th. I think that if you guys want to compete in the division where you got a Josh Jacobs and you got the Lions run offense and you've got Aaron Jones, who's still pretty solid, you guys need to shore that up. I think that would help y'all.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But, I mean, I can't say shit. You guys, stuff. You guys beat us this week, so I can't say much. Well, I'm honestly really happy I didn't see the whole game because I would have thrown things. So.
But you would have loved the amazing trick play punt return, though, where apparently no one on your team can track where the ball actually goes.
True story. How about Xavier McKinney getting another pick, though? That was fun, and it wasn't on Caleb. I gotta ask you guys, hey, serious question for you guys, okay? I got a question for y'all, and then I really do want to hit. We could do this until maybe 30 minutes, and then I want to talk some playoff games because there's some good ones this weekend. But serious question: what's your confidence level in Caleb? 1 to 10. 10 would be he's the franchise. You could see this dude winning playoff games. 1 is Ryan Leaf. He's obviously not
that. Me personally, I'm at 8 right now.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
I mean, I think he is
7, but yeah.
I mean, you look at what he's been able to do so far. I mean, as soon as he hikes the ball, he's running for his life. I mean, he was on his way to setting the sacks record, and we'll talk about that in a minute. 4.5. But there's other issues that we actually do have, not just the line as far as like the offense goes, but we had DeAndre Swift as our number 1 running back, and you're sitting there trying to run the ball up the middle with DeAndre Swift. He's not the running back to do that. Roschon Johnson he's got the power, but he doesn't have the speed. We just need to get some more beef behind him as well. I mean, you got the tight end, you got the receivers. As far as the defense goes, Edmonds is not exactly known as the best run defensive middle linebacker in the game.
Y'all could do better than that.
You have a solid defensive line, and if they were to actually really do it, go ahead and get the heaviest big mofo that you can actually get in the draft or even in free agency and plant his ass right next to Dexter and just let him soak up them double teams and stuff like that. Move Edmonds out to like left, right outside linebacker, and probably put Salbon back in the middle. He did a lot better job there, and I think really and truthfully, they should look at possibly getting like Trayvon Henderson from Ohio State, or even Judkins would be a good push for us. But Gentry is someone that has been rumored as a possible person that could probably become a Bear.
I'd be interested if there was the running back in the draft or in free agency, if you guys there's no Saquon, but if you guys got an explosive running back with
transform the offense.
It would transform the offense. I'm sorry, I know DeAndre Swift's solid, but if they could unload him and upgrade at running back and then focus on the O-line, that offense would be set. And then the biggest need, I think, I like Edmonds, but I think we have better linebackers. And you saw what Patrick Queen's been doing since y'all let him go. Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith, man, he transformed that Ravens D, and the run D is still damn good. They don't grow on trees, but if you guys could get a legit linebacker, that's the Bear way. Ooh, you're onto something. It's impossible to fill all those gaps in offseason. That's why I like with the Packers. I know they're not going to be able to get a number one receiver and a corner and improve the pass rush. They're going to prioritize one of them. But you know what? I talked way too much at the beginning. If you guys want, before we get into the playoff games, I'm going to put my mic down. I'm going to let y'all say whatever you want. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, first to finish answering your question, I'm right around where Met is with that. I actually probably go like an 8.5 in terms of Caleb. Some of the throws he's made are literally Mahomes is the only other one I've seen make some of those in this league, especially on the move ones. And if he's doing that behind this offensive line, then there's no reason if we improve that to think he can't get better. And I think even more so because obviously, my biggest concern with him was the character and stuff like that, and him stepping up in the media thing before this last game and taking responsibility for, I think he said something like 2/3 of the sacks. I should have unloaded the ball quicker. That's not on them. That's me learning this position here. That spoke volumes to me, and it honestly sold me more than anything he's done on the field. Because that's what you need from the franchise guy, is the ability to take responsibility for it, whether it's 100% your fault or not. Also, just in case both Love and Willis are hurt and stuff, I know, given that he could very well technically become a free agent soon, there's this guy that had done a little bit in the playoffs, I think a quarterback of yours, that the Jets probably aren't bringing back. So if you'd be interested in bringing him in for a look as a backup, I think that would be a great idea.
Damn.
I'm only here because I get paid.
Do you?
I did from Twitter. Thanks, Twitter.
He did
Not
make
very
some money off
much.
Twitter.
Not very much. Whole $100-something bucks. Thanks, Twitter.
Got paid like $5 an hour.
Yeah. Oh no, way less. Probably less than a penny an hour for how many hours I put into it over a year. If the Packers go sign Aaron Rodgers, I might. I won't watch the game. I'm not going to disown my team, but I would not even. I'm going to be honest with you. I would skip a playoff game for the first time in my life. I'm not watching Aaron Rodgers in a Packer uniform again. That guy, I know he did a lot for my team, but the dude is such a douche. I can't do it, man.
Just triggered.
This guy, I know he tries to come off as nice. This guy's the biggest asshole, man. I can't do it. I'm over this guy. He just needs to retire. I don't care that he just threw 4 touchdowns. You know what his QBR was the week before? 1.9. It's time, bud. I don't care that his stats look solid. It's like the Packers in garbage time. Retire, sir. You should have retired last season after that ACL. Achilles, whatever. That's funny. Oh, man. All right. Any more cheap shots? Or you know what? They're not even cheap. They're fair. What you got?
Oh, I already told you I was going to be nice to you. I mean, the way that I look at it
I was nice last time though, because the Packers
we beat backups. Is the way that I really look at it. Malik Willis came in, he got served.
He
Christian
got
Watson,
served.
you lost your biggest playmaker right there. I mean, this is going to be a really tough matchup for y'all because even though we can sit here and I think that the Eagles are favored by 4.5 points right now, you look at the
Yeah.
defense. There's a big difference between the defense that y'all saw in Brazil and what defense you're seeing now. They have definitely started gelling. Mitchell and Deshaun Cooper, who y'all should have picked with y'all's first pick, but instead
Oh
you got
God, can you imagine
Jordan.
this defense with Cooper? Dude, or Kenya, like we couldn't have gotten Kenya Mitchell, but he was right there.
Oh, he was.
Oh
But
my
no, y'all
gosh.
decided to get Jolly McFatass on the left-hand side. So I mean, from Arizona, I remember when y'all had that.
Rick is gonna hate you for this. I'm gonna send this to him. He's gonna get mad.
Oh well, he needs a hug.
Jason says the Bears still suck.
We beat y'all.
And yet, I mean,
Mr. 14-3. How you like me now?
Oh, hey, I was spot on with my 10-11 wins.
Hey,
Yeah.
he was right. There was two teams that came out of the NFC North that were 14-3. It just wasn't the Packers.
I was, you know what? I missed my Minnesota pick, but I was spot on with Washington. I said 9-8. They were even better. They were 12-5. I said Washington had a chance to go to the playoffs and Dallas wouldn't preseason. And I said Green Bay would win 11 or 12 games. And I was, boom, look at that. You remember? I said 11.
But the one thing I will say is we can do our predictions and everything like that. Yeah, no, he ain't lying with that. Y'all can keep
I don't know about this one, though. I don't think Khalil Herbert's the guy. You guys need a dynamic running back. Like, you need somebody shifty or you need a power back. You need someone that can carry the load. That will if there was anything even a Saquon Light would be perfect for y'all. If there's a dude in the draft, you should go get him. You guys should do what the Lions did. Seriously. They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs and Campbell. That is exactly the type of draft you guys need. And everyone gave them crap for it, but look where they're at now. That's what you guys need. I was
going to say, I think they got Sam Laporta in that draft too.
Yes. Wow.
So, I mean, they had a solid draft. And that's all it really takes is, right now we need to figure out our front office and sideline shit first. That's just being real. And as soon as we do, because there's a rumored thing that's going on between Ryan Poles and the president of the Chicago Bears right now, to where they're like giving mixed signals. I personally think that they should go full blown into Ben Johnson, try to bring him over, because it does two things. It hurts the Detroit Lions and it strengthens us. You saw what he did, and I've said it before. You saw what he did with Goff. He could probably do that with Caleb Williams, if not better. And, but we need to get on to playoff football. And
yeah, you guys good with that?
Yeah.
Peter, we talked to him for 30 minutes. You know what? Last one. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
It's important psychologically to end the streak.
Yeah.
If the roles were reversed, like I'm ready to fudging beat Minnesota and Detroit. And we haven't really been able to do that recently, especially not this season. And it's not, it's starting to become a streak in Green Bay with Detroit. And Minnesota's been kind of, not last year, but the last 3 years, they've taken it to us. I want to get past them because clearly the NFC North is, I'm not going to be shocked if the Super Bowl champ comes out of it. My concern for you guys, though, there we go. Mr. First Down, you got to hop on sometime, bud. And I agree with this comment.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
I know you guys don't want a defensive guy, but you got to remember, if you get the right coach and he hires
let's be real. For what the Detroit Lions were able to do to the Minnesota Vikings this past week was impressive.
Yeah.
And with the simple fact that they were able to put the screws to that offense that for the most part has been running it up throughout the whole year, with the amount of injuries that they've had on that side of the ball, that was impressive.
Yeah.
I gotta say, if the Packers don't upset Philly if Hurts plays, I think we're losing. If Green Bay doesn't upset Philly, they're going to get an easy path to the conference championship, and the Lions are going to get a bye, and they're probably going to get Minnesota again. And I think they're going to take it to them again in Detroit. So unless the Packers can upset the apple cart here, I think it's going to be Philly, Detroit in the NFC Championship. And it's going to
Oh,
come down
geez,
to
you just went straight for the gullet right there. We're supposed to talk about these games.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we're gonna. Oh wait. Am I?
Damn.
Wait. He's a Titans fan. He's excited because his team knows how to tank properly. They got the number 1 pick. Congratulations, buddy. No more Will Levis for you. Good job.
You never know. They might still try it. I
don't. They
mean,
better
they
not.
thought that Derrick Henry was washed up, and we saw what he did. So,
Is Tennessee the worst run organization in the league right now outside the Pats? At least have Drake May. They're
right
in
now-
bad shape. They're in bad shape. Not to be mean to him, they really are.
I'll come back to that later.
I got a question for you guys on that later. I posted something fun today. Okay, you guys want to start at the Packer game? Or you guys want to start somewhere else? We talked a lot of Packers. It's up to you guys.
I think we already talked a little bit about the Eagles and Packers. So
I will say I think there's a chance, but I'm not feeling good about my team. They're just the way they're playing. They look like they peaked 4 weeks ago. So
and the thing is with Tanner McKee, who will probably get to start because Kenny Pickett is injured with his ribs right now. I think that with anyone that has Devontae Smith and AJ Brown to throw to, I think they're going to be solid. I'm not saying it's going to be a massacre. I think it's going to be a close game like what was in Brazil, but I do see that Philadelphia is going to win this game.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance they keep it close even if Hurts was in there. But my problem with my team is they clearly the youngest team in the league, the Packers, and they continue just to play teams close, and they can't. There's some coaching gaps, not a lot. LaFleur's good, but there's some coaching stuff. And there's just a lack of urgency in the first half. I'm curious if they'll do what they did in the playoffs last year and overachieve, because they did last year, and that can happen with young teams. You're going to get the best out of them when it matters the most. I just don't know if we can do that again. I don't
think you're going to be able to do it in this game because Dallas, we already kind of figured was that team last year. We already knew that they had a finesse defense, and when y'all were able to punch them straight in the mouth as hard as y'all did at the very beginning, and Dak did Dak things.
He's
I
right.
don't see it happening with this game, bud.
No. All right, Peter, what's your take?
Yeah. I think even with them being down to their third string, it's not like they don't have weapons still, and the weapons are healthy. And honestly, it's almost harder to play against like a third stringer because there is no similar to like Love going into last year. There's not a whole lot, if any, tape on him, so you have no clue what he's able to do yet, especially behind what's still a very solid offensive line there. So. Because it's not every organization that could have Jason Kelce retire and their O-line didn't miss a beat this year.
Yeah, I just got to say, though, they're going to need a passing game at some point. It may not be against Green Bay, but we still have talent, guys. Josh Jacobs is legit. Like, the problem I have is that we've been kind of one-dimensional recently as well, and Jordan Love's going to have to get this going if we want to have any chance at not only pulling this upset off, but going anywhere.
Yeah.
And Philly's D is legit. So I do think they're going to need a passing game to get by Detroit. They can't. I don't see them being one-dimensional and going into Detroit and winning. No. Even if Detroit's defense is subpar, their offense isn't. So
yeah. No, I would say if they end up where both teams are one-dimensional, then I'm sorry, I'm taking Saquon over anyone you guys have in a one-on-one competition. Effectively, I mean,
he's fun, like Damian. Cheese fondue. Thanks, buddy. I'm taking my licks
keep it
today.
coming.
Yeah, he's loving it. Do you guys want to do the Minnesota Rams next, or the?
I think that would be the best segue right there.
Yeah,
you go ahead and start off with your comments on the game and everything like that. I did some homework.
So here's my thing with Minnesota. This is the question I was going to ask earlier. Was that game? Did that make how hesitant do you think the Vikings are now to hand Darnold the extension after that Lions game? Because that was concerning, honestly. It wasn't didn't look good for the Lions. Darnold not in the good Darnold way. I'm concerned. Like, not against the Rams. Their defense has looked better. They should win this game, but frankly, Vegas isn't feeling great about it. They got the believe the Rams are 1-point favorites.
And there's a reason. The last
Is it
time
not?
that these two teams played was earlier this year in October, and the Rams put it up on them 30-20. This was actually the game that the Rams were able to actually start off on their little. Basically, they this is when they started to actually look like the Rams. They got everyone healthy back, and they were able to actually to rest them this past week. Nakua, Kyrie Williams, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, all these players are now rested and are coming in. They're going to be playing at SoFi, where they're 5-3 this year. And even though the Minnesota Vikings are 6-2 on the road, this is one of those games where you kind of want to see what happens. What made it look real bad is that Detroit was able to put pressure on Sam Darnold. For the most part, you didn't see that for the whole season, and it just blew up in their face. This is one of the few times where we actually saw it, and we already knew that their defense was suspect by letting teams back into the games towards the end of them. This is once again something that happened with an offense that can really just pop off at any time. The difference between the Goff Detroit Lions and the Matthew Stafford Rams right now, there's not really much of a difference other than the fact that they got a 36-year-old quarterback that knows how to beat them. And if there's an upset in the first round, this is one of the ones that I would actually say could potentially be that upset.
I was thinking Vikings, but I'm starting to wonder if the Rams can do it. But the problem I have with them is their offense hasn't looked great in a month now, but they've still won 9 out of the last 11 meaningful games. I don't count the Seahawks game because it was even more. They benched dudes in the Packer game. They pulled the Chiefs. They just didn't care. They just didn't want guys to get hurt, which was smart.
Yeah.
I almost wish the Packers had gone that route and just punted on the game, even against the Bears, because we'd still have Christian Watson, Jordan Love wouldn't be banged up. But the Commanders ran into that same problem. The Chiefs figured it out. They're like, Carson Wentz, you go out there, buddy. We do not care about this game. And the Rams, so I don't count the Seahawks game, but damn, man, their offense hasn't looked great. But that defense since that Bills game, other than that Philly game, man, they've looked really good the back half since that Packer game. That defense has been pretty freaking good. They haven't given up more than 20 in a meaningful game, but once in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
You give me a solid defense and you give me Stafford with weapons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Rams, man. And I was thinking Vikings, but I actually think they're going to be one and done. And then the questions are going to ensue. Do you pay Sam Darnold? Because I think he needs to win a playoff game to lock in $40 million plus with Minnesota. Or they're just going to let him go.
What you got, Peter?
Yeah, I've been going back and forth with this one too, but I think Stafford, just with the experience he has of knowing what it takes to get there and stuff, I think that alone, along with offensive weapons finally being healthy again, and coming in rested, is going to be a huge advantage for them. Also, I've got to give them credit, and I this is one thing I was wondering about the start of the season with them, is when Aaron Donald retired, I actually had said that made their defense more dangerous because now you don't know who to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
And they've had like 3 or 4 guys step up and just take over games at times between Verse and his teammate from Florida State. Yeah. So they I mean, talk about like what the Eagles were able to do with who they lost. The Rams are right there with them in terms of that. And I have trouble even calling it an upset. I know it's Minnesota's record is better, but the Rams are playing at home for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough one. This is a pick 'em. I'm with you guys. This is going to be a good one. Question though. Let's say the Vikings lose. If you're the Vikings, would you pay Sam Darnold over 40? Or would you let him walk? Or does it depend on how he looks in this game, win or lose?
I think after what you just witnessed for this season and everything, it's hard not to pay him $40 million. If you want to have your shot and do it the way that the Packers have done it, which is how y'all kind of set up how a lot of other teams are doing. Atlanta just recently tried it.
Yeah,
But
they got through
40
less than a full season.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Kirk Cousins changed plans.
well, that's why I said they tried. But it's one of those things where you don't want to pay him $40 million a year, so you would try to get him a little bit cheaper than that. But how low can you actually go without losing?
Exactly.
And you don't know what you have in JJ McCarthy, so just let him sit down. I mean, money's money. I mean,
wait, no.
as
Somebody
much
told us
money as
recently
they are.
to start Daniel Jones, right? Right, Med?
Oh.
Start Daniel Jones. Sorry to interrupt.
Vanilla Vic? No, I think they're all right with that.
Somebody on a Spaces, Peter told us, and I'm not calling the guy out by name, but he told us that Daniel Jones could look better with weapons. And I'm like, man, Daniel
I remember
Jones,
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a hard pass, buddy.
No.
Yeah,
no.
No, I agree with Damien on that. If they just go ahead and if they were to actually let Darnold walk and keep Daniel Jones, we're going to be sitting there looking at them at where we thought they would be this past season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Justin Jefferson might ask for a trade at that point. I like Damien's quick question. Do you think Saquon needs to break that record to secure a Hall of Fame ballot, or is he okay with even the injuries? So since he didn't break the record, he had a 2,000-yard season. I think if he has one more season even close to this year or his rookie year, I think the dude's a Hall of Famer, especially if they have a playoff run. Not maybe a first ballot, but
Peter, I'll let you go first.
That's an interesting one. That's a good
Boy,
question.
that is. I think he's
That's
right
tough.
on the fringe right now. I would say if he can even account for maybe let's go 1650 in total scrimmage yards next season, I think he's in for sure at that point. Because even with the injuries, he's been remarkably consistent for the most part in a non-injury season.
He's had 1,000 yards 4 times out of 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He missed it once when he played 14 games. He missed it he had one terrible season in 21. He missed it in 2014. He missed 3 games, and he missed it because he averaged 3.9 yards.
He's missed a lot of time from injuries and everything. But I will say this, is that whenever you're talking about a running back that can go into the Hall of Fame, he probably won't be a first ballot for the simple fact of one thing, that's that there's a log jam. At running back right now. You still got players like Fred Taylor, Eddie George, Corey Dillon. These are players that have over 10,000 yards in their careers that haven't gotten into it. They're not even being looked at right now. That's how big of a logjam they have. I mean, you look at the receivers. They still have to look at Reggie Wayne. A couple other names. Hines Ward. I mean, there's just so many players.
Hines Ward or Reggie Wayne should be in. Come on.
Yeah.
This is hilarious. Joe, you got to hop back on, dude, sometime soon. Seriously. I have heard that rumor, actually, that the Vikings could consider trading JJ away. I think they should hold on to him and keep Darnold as the bridge. They're not paying JJ. Why not? I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I don't know. Because I just even with the unknown still out there, unknown coming off of an injury is good. And for someone you spent a first round pick on, you're not getting anything above probably a third back at this point.
True.
I don't know.
I wouldn't give up on JJ yet. You want to see what you got.
And you saw what he was able to do in that one preseason game. I mean, he looked amazing. You kind of want to see what he can do.
Yeah.
I would. Why not? Seriously. Okay. We got one more NFC game. This is going to be fun. So, guys, what you can expect for the rest of the show, I'm going to start doing this in the beginning. Trade JJ to Game Bray. They could use him in the playoffs. Thanks, buddy. See how Jordan Love does. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you. You're funny. Funny guy. He's funny. It's not like Jordan Love's a total scrub. All right, that Washington Tampa Bay game. Tampa is favored by 3. I don't know what to make of this because Tampa's like one of the weirdest teams in the league. They can lose to anybody, and they've beaten Detroit. They've shown up in big games. They've gotten huge wins. They've had terrible losses. But Baker's a stud. We talked snubs on my last show on Saturday. How
Oh
did
no, he
Baker
definitely got
Mayfield
slapped.
42 touchdowns and he didn't make the Pro Bowl, and Jane
Yeah.
Daniels did? I don't get that.
Here's a better question for you. Do you think Bo Nix may be the offensive player of the year because he or rookie of the year because he actually has more touchdowns, more yards, and everything than Jaden Daniels?
Yes, but I'll do you one better. I think that Brock Bowers should actually be it.
Yeah.
I can see that too.
But yeah, for
can see
quarterback,
that.
I would actually say Nick's that's why on the Caleb scale, I would go a little below an 8 because my confidence in Bo Nix and Jane Daniels is a little bit higher than Caleb.
I agree.
But they're both like 9, so I would have Caleb at like a 7-ish. But Brock Bowers, yeah, exactly. He should be the rookie of the year. He broke the rookie tight end record. It should be him. We got to stop making these awards like MVP and rookie of the year
focused.
Yeah, they can't just be QB focused all the
Yeah,
time.
I would agree.
Okay, but I'll talk too much. I'll go last on this one. What you guys think on this Commanders Bucks game?
Peter, go first.
I think the Bucks are going to win. It really just comes down again to having been there, done that. Just like the experience. I think Washington's probably a year or one more defensive weapon away from being able to really establish a playoff identity. And then also just to touch on your one with like the Caleb versus Nix and stuff. Nix especially has benefited more from a legitimately good coach from the start of his career too.
It's funny we changed our tune about Sean Payton a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah. And I'm not blaming Russ for anything either, because that 100% was not on him there.
Although I do think the dude, it's not like I don't think he's got it anymore. You've seen what the Steelers have done recently. Like if they
we will talk about that in another.
Yeah. They just are. Yeah.
So,
Matt, what'd you think on this one?
So when I look at it, is you kind of brought it up. Tampa Bay is one of those teams that kind of perplex you a little bit. You got a team that will sit there and they'll beat Detroit Lions like it ain't nothing, but then at the time when they lost to the Broncos, and I mean they lost badly to the Broncos, it was one of those things where you kind of like just scratched your head. And when the one thing about it is, the Washington defense is not, and Marshawn Lattimore, who is their number one cornerback right now, has a hamstring issue. Are you going to be able to actually have a person that can cover Mike Evans or even Chris Godwin? I mean, these are some killers on the Bucks offense, and the Bucks defense, like you said, Peter. I mean, they've been there and done that. It's a very veteran-led team. And, even though I would like to say that, Jaden Daniels wins his first chance in the NFL playoffs, but I just don't see it.
Interesting. I was initially thinking Commanders. This Bucks D is not that good, but neither is the Commanders. They're both actually around the same. The Bucks rush D is 4th in the league, while the Commanders pass D is 3rd. But then the Bucks pass defense is 29th. The Commanders rush defense is 30th. So they're kind of versus of each other. They're both two of the best rushing teams in the league, actually. The Commanders are middle of the pack passing wise. The Bucks are 3rd. Baker's legit. I just trust Baker. He's been there. He's won playoff games just last year. I don't like their defense. I don't really love the whole team. But we need to get him back on the show. Talking Football did win that Eliminator, man. We got to have them on soon.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go Bucks. And it's so funny because earlier in the week, yesterday I was kind of leaning Vikings, and now I'm leaning Rams, and I'm leaning Bucks. I think that like I said, the road for the Eagles, if they win, they beat the Packers, they're going to have the Bucks. And I don't think they're going to get beat by the Bucks in the playoffs again. I just don't see that. Yeah. They're a more complete team than the Bucks by a mile. Unless Baker just has one of those days, which he can do. It's possible. So that's my take. You guys ready to talk some AFC?
Yeah.
Well, just real quick, Justin actually just asked us who's your X Factors for
Oh,
both.
there we go. I just saw that.
And I mean,
Ooh, that's good.
so
Question too.
So I'm going to just think outside the box. The obvious answer is going to be the quarterbacks. But what position would probably be more important on that? Now, the way that I just said it is Marcus Lattimore is hurt right now. So, in my personal opinion, I'm going to look at Mike Evans as being an X factor on the Buccaneers at this moment. And on the Washington side, it's going to be another receiver with Scary Terry McLaughlin. He has been someone that has just really blew up this year, and he is Daniel's number one threat. So those are the two that I would think, because I can't think of who's covering them at the moment. So
the Washington pass D is, like you said, it's so legit. If the Bucks can throw on him, if Jalen McMillan can get going, or Bucky Irving for the Bucks, or Cade Otton, take the pressure off Mike Evans, and and that offense for the Bucks, they're going to get going. On the other side, I like a Brian Robinson, and like you said, Scary Terry, but for the Commanders, unfortunately, it's an easy X factor. It's going to come down to Jaden Daniels. How does he play in this game? That's going to be massively important for the Commanders.
I'm actually going to go a little bit counter to either you, especially with both of the run defenses being like the potential weaknesses and such. I'm going to go Bucky Irving and Austin Eckler for the X factors, especially because they're like that change of pace from the featured ones, arguably. And I think that's where this game's honestly going to be won or lost.
I like that.
I like it. Yeah, the Commanders with Lattimore out there, pass D is probably not going to be a strength. But it just comes down to, we're going to find out if he plays. Good questions. Did you see this one, man?
Yeah, no, I saw it. I started laughing. No, you have no idea. Like, dude, it was
he sent me a meme right after. I was like, yeah, okay. Muhammad Ali.
I saw that one.
I was like, bro, if we beat you guys next time, I'm gonna be. You said use your face picture. That was funny. Oh, Ben was having a day on Sunday. I was like, this is wonderful. I love this.
Yep. All right, so what game you want to get next, dude?
Well, I'm torn on this Steelers-Ravens game. I mean, the Ravens are 9.5 point favorites, but the Steelers
how are you torn?
Well, the Steelers. Here's the problem: the Steelers play them tough.
Mm-hmm.
Not the last game. Last game they kind of got their ass handed to them. This is the game that I actually think.
Do you give them any chance at all?
No. I mean, this is the game where I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be honest with you. I think Baltimore's going to cover 9.5. I mean, I'm just being 100% honest.
Okay, I got one more.
The Zay Flowers injury might hurt him a little bit, but at the same time, you look at what Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson did combined. You're talking almost 2,900 yards rushing, just that. And then you look at the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, if George Pickens is not going off, no one is. Their best receiver as far as receptions go with 65 is Fairmouth.
Mike Tomlin has got to fix this offense. I know that they want to go defensive oriented because that's the Steeler way, but you got to miss the days of Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. Like, damn, they've got to get some weapons up in Pittsburgh. They are lacking. You cannot just have George Pickens. As good as he is, and he's solid, they've got to fix that offense. I don't think they have their quarterback still. It's not Russ, and I don't think it's Fields. I'm sorry.
Well, here's the thing: is
Fields might actually be a better call.
You look at what they had. So they finished 10-7. Fields went 4-2.
Yep.
Russ started off 6-1. He's now 6-5.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just, and some of the beatdowns that they've had, there was a couple close ones. The closest was this last week, but the rest of them, it wasn't good. It did not look good.
No, they barely lost Cincy. They got beat down by the Chiefs. They got beat down by the Ravens. They got beat down by the Eagles. They did beat the Browns, but you don't get any flowers for beating the Browns. I'm with you guys. There's a weird scenario when the Steelers play this close, but I got one for you, both of y'all. Are the Ravens the biggest threat to the Chiefs, or is it the Bills?
Ooh.
I still think it's the Bills because of Josh Allen, but this Ravens team is peaking at the right time.
So there's something interesting I read about with the Bills, but I'll save that for later when we're talking about that playoff game. But me personally, if I was to say that there is who is the bigger threat right now, it's hard for me to really say the Ravens because they lost their number one receiver in Zay Flowers.
How long is he out for?
I don't know, but he's holding his knee, and when you see a receiver holding his knee, that's usually not good.
I got you. Hold on, I'll tell you. They're unsure of his status. It's day to day. He didn't tear his ACL, so that's good news.
Yeah, he might be back second round. So, but I mean, you got Derrick Henry, who everyone thought was gassed.
They may not need him this week if they can rest him and get him back for round 2, like you guys said. Like you said. Yeah. Peter, are you with us on the Ravens? Because I'm with Brad.
I am. The only thing that worries me about being like, I think the Ravens win. I don't think they're gonna cover because even as bad as the Steelers have looked the last month or whatever, playoff Russ is a very different thing even now, and 10 is a lot of points to be given him.
He's going to throw his interception, but he's but like I said, I mean, if they just lock down Greg Pickens, I mean, they're two of their top 4 receivers is their running backs. I mean, it's not a good deal.
They've got to get some receivers up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and like not a shot at like the rest of who Russ had used to play for or whatever, but we never heard of Doug Baldwin or Tyler Lockett before they exploded together in the postseason either.
Oh, and curse, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, never count Russ out.
No, and I agree with that. The only thing I have to say about that, though, is he also has Hall of Fame running back behind him with Marshawn Lynch.
That's fair.
And I think Russ is cooked, guys. He's cooked.
Aaron Rodgers is cooked. Russ is still throwing for 16 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. It ain't like he has a horrible year. What's horrible is they got Arthur Smith as their offensive coordinator, who the Bears are actually talking about bringing him on too. And I'm like, no, that is like Luke Getsy again. Do not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but over the last 4 games, he's thrown 4 TDs and 2 picks.
But Pickens hasn't played in any of those.
Exactly.
True story. That's true. They're going to need Pickens.
But Pickens also had 103 targets, and how many catches did he pick? I mean, let's be real. If there is a player that is overrated, and people are going to fucking love this, because Pickens to me is overrated, because if he can't catch the deep pass, he's nothing.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. They don't have anything even close to what they had in Hines Ward or Antonio Brown at receiver.
Yeah.
Or even when they had Emmanuel Sanders. They just don't.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that, but it's just the effect of Pickens even being out there just changes so much with how the defense plays the rest of them.
You took the Bear stuff off. I was enjoying that. Is that Buc-ee's?
Yeah, it is Buc-ee's.
You guys have Buc-ee's out there too. Isn't it the best?
Yeah, it is the greatest. They have some awesome sandwiches. The best.
Oh, they do. Their jerky.
Yeah, the wall jerky. Dude, I got that behind me.
Good. It's so good. You know what's funny is we talk about Rodgers being cooked, but he had 28 TDs and 11 picks.
Yeah.
So Russ's stats don't look that great when Pickens is out, and then they have is Mike Williams. And I'm sorry, like their running backs aren't like that.
They're not earth-shattering
either. They're not. They just don't have any weapons there. They get to the playoffs because of Mike Tomlin and defense, and the defense carries a lot of weight for this team. And They were 11th in rushing, but that's not like groundbreaking. The Packers, the Commanders, the Bucks were way better. The Lions, like they're not even on that level at their best category on offense, and it's not just statistically. You can watch them. They're like, if I was ranking all the playoff teams, the Steelers might be freaking damn near bottom. I think Denver could beat them right now, honestly.
Well, no, Denver definitely could beat them.
And Denver's got some issues on offense themselves, but at least they got a number one. They got an alpha. Cortland Sutton's that dude. And he's got a quarterback. That's all you need. They get a running back. They get him another. If Troy Franklin pans, or they get him another target or an athletic tight end. That team, the AFC West is going to be like the NFC North next year. Just ignore the Raiders.
Yeah. Obviously not to look back at the what ifs of if they hadn't made certain trades and stuff like that. But could you imagine if the Broncos still had Noah Fant right now?
Whoo, that'd be solid. I want to see them to go get a slot, or like I said, there's no Brock Bowers, that doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah.
But if they invest at the tight end position for Bo Nix and Sean Payton stays there, they've got the D. There's this AFC West, man, with the Chargers, if all they need is a couple weapons on offense too. Harbaugh's built that defense.
I can see him going with that tight end from Penn State. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but the dude can ball.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing my draft scouting very soon.
Yeah.
I don't think the Chiefs are going to win. They're not going to three-peat, but I think there's a chance one of these other teams supplants them in the AFC West next year. Chiefs will still be around, but it's impossible to. There's a reason no one's ever three-peated. It's impossible to stay on that perch. Other teams get hungry. Injuries happen. Kelsey might retire soon. Things happen. Not that Mahomes is ever going to go away, but they could have one of those like 10 or 11 game win seasons next year. It could happen.
The thing is, though, I almost wonder, similar to like Mahomes' record when they're trailing in the fourth quarter or whatever, I almost wonder if only having 10 or 11 wins is going to make him more dangerous, because then he's going to be kicked off entering the playoffs.
Well,
and I'm not sure anyone wants to see that.
Well, he might be this year. He didn't get a Pro Bowl. He got snubbed.
Yeah.
But let's segue into that Broncos-Bills game. Do you guys give the Broncos any chance in Buffalo?
Yes, I do.
Do you think they can actually win?
Yes.
Are you picking them?
So here's the thing. And I mean, I got notes on this. Give me 1 second.
You're good, man. I worked out today instead of writing notes down, but I know what I want to talk about with these games. So,
in fact, I had my notes up, but for some reason it took it off. So
you're good. I can start if you want me to.
Oh, go ahead.
Or Peter. Here's the deal. That Chiefs game doesn't matter. It's good the Broncos could beat backups 38-0. Bills game didn't matter. I'm concerned about this Bills defense, but it's not awful. And you just give me solid weapons, Josh Allen and James Cook, and I just think that's too much for a rookie quarterback. But this dude is special. There's a chance. But there's a reason the line is 9. I actually think it's going to be like a 10-11, 12-point victory. I think the Bills will cover it just barely. I don't think the Broncos are quite ready yet. I think the Bills are for real, and I think Josh Allen is going to I don't know. I'm concerned about that defense, but I think he's definitely going to get this one done. So I'm going Bills.
Yeah. No, that I would agree with. I think the Broncos are the AFC version of what I see Washington as in the NFC. I think they're that year away and adding 1 or 2 more pieces. One thing I was actually talking with a friend out in Denver earlier, and he was saying they're actually considering possibly like next year, once everyone's healthy and stuff like that, they're actually considering, because he's such a good receiver out of the backfield, moving Estime into like a slot receiver role or something similar to like what the 49ers have done with Debo in a little bit. So
All right. So when you look at some of the stuff, you already talked a little bit about Cortland Sutton and the fact that Bo Nix and him just got insane chemistry. Like it really built up and everything like that. Cortland Sutton has, out of the Bo Nix 29 touchdowns, 377 yards, 3,771 yards, and extra 4 rushing touchdowns. I mean, Bo Nix has made that argument. But you look at the defensive side, and both defenses actually do struggle with the pass, but the Bills are 24th, so they really struggle with it.
Yes,
And you also look at their defensive pass rush, everything as far as the Broncos go on their defense, they're better, way better. And in fact, they got 3 guys that are over 8 sacks. Bills had 1. And if you could just zero in on Gregory Rousseau or whatever the fuck his name is, you'll be able to actually contain that pass rush.
Yeah.
The rest of their defense is not that great. Their offense is great, and we look at what Josh Allen's been able to do, and Josh Allen definitely has MVP type season numbers and everything. But if this is not going to be the typical shootout, that defense can actually slow him down. And and that really kind of plays into the hand of the Broncos as far as that goes, because the Broncos have a very good rush defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the Broncos could actually win this game.
You know what's funny though is the Broncos pass D is only 19th, but you're right, they get after the passer. So it's going to come down to if they can affect Josh Allen. But there's a whole thing of in Buffalo, it's like going to play in KC, not Green Bay in January, but it's like going to play in Detroit right now. It's a tough place. Yeah, go play in Caleb's. I'm not calling it that even one time. I'm not giving it to you. Like you've never said go Pack Go on the air.
No.
And unless the Packers win this, I'm gonna get
you almost did it.
I think the Packers would have to win the Super Bowl for you to say that. And I still, if they did, I think I can get one.
I guess I'm not going to have to say it.
Tell you what, I will say your thing about the Bears when they win a Super Bowl, if you'll say my thing about the Packers when they win a Super Bowl.
No, I'd rather get a circumcision. So
you don't want to hear me say your Bear thing?
What Bear thing?
I'm not saying it. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to figure out what Bear thing you're talking about.
You know what it is. It's not the Bears.
What's the other one?
No, you know what it is.
Caleb's crib.
You've got to be so happy. You've got to be so happy Rodgers retired, and you don't have to see any more of those championship belts in
Chicago North,
Soldier Fields. Chicago North.
Mini Chicago.
Hey, I know you probably want to bring guys with playoff teams in, but we should get. I'm just saying on. He just tagged me in something, and he was a lot of fun, dude. Peter, I don't know if you saw Thursday's show. It was a lot of fun. It was cool.
The one other thing I have to say about the Denver Buffalo game is if there's a team that can actually match up, and where the one thing that you would say would be a home field advantage for Buffalo is the fact that it's a very cold stadium. Denver has that same thing.
True story. And I don't know if it's going to be snowy. I haven't looked at the weather yet. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do another show this week. I'm supposed to get a tooth pulled Thursday, but we're also supposed to get snow on Thursday. So I don't know if I'm going to make it. So
that's a rough week for you.
It's interesting. I thought you already got your teeth kicked in. Oh, wait.
Oh.
I did ramble too much in the beginning. I was trying to shut y'all up. So it's okay. I gotta take my lumps. The Broncos don't have the running game to take advantage here. That's my concern. It's decent, but they really need that running back. I like Nix. I like their defense. I just wish they had one more playmaker on offense to keep pace with Buffalo, because I don't think they're going to hold Buffalo below like 20 to 24. And sometimes they struggle to score those points. You know what I mean?
So the thing about that also is you look at their running committee that they have. They actually are really solid. They got
solid, as a team. Yeah.
Yeah, they got Estime, they got McLaughlin, they got Javonte Williams. I mean, they may not have that 1,000-yard running back, but they have 3 horses that can actually take it at any given time. Each one does everything's kind of specific. Estime is their power runner. McLaughlin is kind of like your third down back, and Javonte Williams is a mixture of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Bo Nix that can run, so they actually have 4 dudes that got over 300 yards on the ground. So, like you said, collectively they're solid. Whereas the Bills smartly used Josh Allen a little bit too much, but they smartly used James Cook not that much.
I like James Cook too.
And those 2 dudes had 1,500 yards, and then Ray Davis only 3.9 yards to carry, but he had over 400 yards himself. And Johnson had a couple hundred. That's collectively over 2,100 yards right there. It's pretty good. And I do wonder. I know Peyton likes this rotation. I wonder how much they're going to invest in the running back position this offseason. It's going to be interesting. Or if Estime takes the job, we'll see. I don't know.
And the other thing I was going to tell you that I read up on that's been kind of interesting is Amari Cooper has not returned to the team since leaving this past week to take care of personal matters. It's something with his family. And they also got their second leading tackler, Tyree Bernard. He is questionable right now with a quad injury. So
he's out for the Broncos game. It says out.
Yeah. So, and I see that too, but this is also, it's showing us last week's. So,
even though they want him, they have a deep receiving core. I don't think, weirdly, you would think it matters, and it does, but they're kind of like the Broncos with their running game. Josh Allen just makes dudes,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess like the only counterpoint I would have to that would be in regular season. Yeah, sure. Cooper's been through the playoffs enough before where just that makes a difference.
Heck yeah. And also, I want to say thanks to 400 people watching. You guys freaking rock.
Awesome.
It's freaking awesome. I kind of needed that. It's been I'm not going to talk about it. It's been a rough couple of weeks. Not all bad, just some.
The roughest day was Sunday for him.
All right, let's talk about another game that's coming on Saturday. Let's
the last
talk about
game.
The Chargers Texans. I actually don't think the Texans are going to win this one. I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't believe in them. I think the Chargers are better. It is in Houston, but this team is limping in. That team that showed up against Baltimore. Wait, sorry, they didn't show up. I just don't see it, man. They've regressed even worse than the Packers recently. My team still at least attempts to show up in most games, just loses barely. The Texans, something's off here, man. I don't like it. Do you guys? They got a defense. They got weapons. What's like? They're banged up at receiver, and CJ Stroud's not.
I think it's interesting that you said unlike your team, with your team losing barely. That's interesting. Interesting.
Barely?
A walk-off field goal, and Josh.
Did someone say barely lose?
Josh Jacobs didn't play. Christian Watson was out. Jordan Love was out. Y'all won.
Well, like one of the things I told you is that if you can't beat them, just beat them.
No.
Send them like an emoji of the
this matters so much to you guys that you went down at least 3 draft picks, and it was more important for you to beat us once this decade. That's kind of sad.
It's not a decade.
Is it a little sad?
God, why
this decade?
Is this Wisconsin math I'm hearing right now?
No. The 2020s, you had not beaten us once, and now you finally got your win. Congratulations! There you go. Good job. You're 5-12. And you know what you do for the playoffs? You're watching my team in the playoffs. They may not be in it for very long.
For a week. We'll have the same amount of playoff wins.
Hey, man,
don't worry, you could sit right next to us on that sway couch and watch the Super Bowl.
if the Packers win this game, I'm not gonna shut up about it. I'm gonna be like, look at my team in the divisional round. Y'all shut up.
Watch them get
I don't
worked
care
by
if I
the
beat the
Detroit
team.
Lions again for the third time this year.
I swear, you know what that would be? That would kind of suck. It'd be great if they went on that conference championship. Oh, no, sorry. If they get to the divisional round, they go to Detroit, and then they get so close again and barely lose. I'm just gonna be like,
Barely.
they did, well, the first one was only a 10-point game. Yeah, they kind of got worked. But the second one was, man, that was close. Oh, yeah, I see. So we just need
Barely beat us the first time.
I'm a little worried that we're getting good ratings because people like watching me suffer. This is not great.
We got flused in the first game.
Yep.
And then you barely won that one.
Yeah, that was bad.
And then we barely
That's
beat
why
y'all
I
in
did.
Caleb's
That's
crib.
why. That's why. Oh, shut up! I call it Caleb's crib. Never calling. Come on, Caleb's crib. That's such bullshit. Bullshit. Okay, are y'all giving the Texans any snowballs chance here? I got one more thing.
Go for it. You go ahead and go for it first, man.
No, if they were healthy, I think it's a different discussion, but I don't think they have the overall talent needed now.
I mean, y'all go ahead and bench Caleb Williams and DJ Moore and tell me if you can win a game. Let's do that.
We put DJ out there for a play he didn't even touch the ball and scored a touchdown. So,
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yes.
No.
I mean, should it?
But no, I think that
Wait, hold on.
Chargers.
Let me show it to you 4 different ways.
Nope.
There you go.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Hey, okay, y'all can have your fun. I'm gonna let the dog out really quick. Keep going. I'll be right back.
No, I do think the Chargers win this, though. Between the coach having been there before and actually gone to Super Bowl, and just the veteran leadership on that defense, especially that defense has been a lot better than people realize this year. I think the Chargers win this one, probably going away, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, if you really want to be honest about it, has there been a team that kind of like everyone kind of saw as taking that next step, like Houston this past season? I mean, they got 2 big upgrades with Joe Mixon and also Stephon Diggs. Now, understandably, Stephon Diggs got hurt, but you would think that Joe Mixon would have a little bit more prominent role in that offense. I mean, I was looking at his numbers. He only carried the ball 222 times.
Right.
So he's not really getting the ball as much as you would want, and he's a huge upgrade over Singleton, who you had last year. Now, I agree with you because John Harbaugh is that not John Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is the coach that can actually ascend you quickly. I mean, he did it with San Francisco. We knew what he was going to be able to do as soon as he went to Los Angeles.
Yeah,
he transformed a team that placed in the lower 20, and in some cases in the lower 3 defense with all that talent that they had on defense. And he was able to transform it to where it is actually the number 1 defense this year.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like the moment he stepped in, taking over a defense, even excluding like the talent that's proven themselves in the secondary now, taking over a defense with Bosa and Khalil Mack on it, I knew that was going to make that division scared, because those are 2 very dangerous edge rushers.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, and we saw what Khalil Mack can do as a player, but they also got Derwin James, they got Ashanti Samuel Jr. They got a lot of playmakers on that defensive side of the ball, and it seems like the only thing that Jim Harbaugh was able to do was get them to actually focus on that side of the ball. They're playing, I mean, they're running the ball, but there's not really a running back that they have that really scares you right now. Dobbins did all right, but he's always hurt.
Yeah.
Josh Edwards and Vidal, it's a running back committee.
Yeah.
But if you look at Justin Herbert, who threw 23 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions.
Right.
Ooh, good numbers.
Yeah, and I
Hey,
mean,
guys.
putting McConkey and Quentin Johnson taking a huge step forward this year.
Yeah.
In terms of ball security and catching it and such, that I think they're honestly, arguably one of the more dangerous teams that's playing this weekend.
No, I agree. So I agree with you.
You can get enough out of that offense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been worked up. I apologize. You can tell.
It's okay. No, you can be worked up all you want because your team got worked down this past weekend.
Hey, Med, I'm going to ask you some true or false questions. What's the record of your team? Oh, wait, sorry. You just have to answer.
That's true.
Congratulations, fuckers. All right.
And I can't wait till you see your kids tomorrow and they ask you what those fuckers mean.
I didn't say it. It was somebody else. It just looked like me. The name is wrong. All right. Okay, I got a fun one for you guys. I asked this anyway. This is
what does it work out like a sock puppet mean? heard that other guy, man, tell you that your team is like that.
I'm just never gonna put my shows on my Facebook anymore with you. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's okay.
This is funny.
Nice.
All right. I'm gonna collect myself here. Okay, because I got some fun ideas for this year. I want to hit NBA after a little hiatus after the Super Bowl, but I think we're gonna have a fun month because this is gonna be an awesome NFL playoffs. Which quarterback has the most to prove these playoffs in the AFC? We don't talk enough about the AFC. We'll go to the NFC in a minute. It's not Mahomes. He's won 3 Super Bowls. I'm sorry. Like, if people are going to like use the three-peat argument as the GOAT, wonderful for them.
Lamar Jackson.
Is it Jackson or Allen?
It's Lamar Jackson.
I think so too,
looking
man.
at
He's got to get this done.
He's won 2 MVPs, possibly a third this year. I mean, he's the only other player that I could think of off the top of my head that could challenge Josh Allen for the MVP. I know Saquon Barkley has a really good chance as well, but it is a QB award now. And
which sucks.
It does suck, but at the same time, Lamar Jackson, it was a lot of criticism last year. They should have been able to beat the Chiefs. They were not able to do it. They had them in their own stadium in the AFC Championship, and you let it dud. Mm-hmm. And it's just, in my personal opinion, it's Lamar Jackson. He has the most.
No, I don't disagree with how he explained that, but I think Josh Allen does. I know he does. I get the argument for Lamar having it because he's got like the significantly more talent around him, but Allen, we know why Lamar got paid. Allen, in terms of postseason, hasn't even come close to what Lamar has yet, even with the losses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you guys, and also, I think Allen looks more I don't know. Jackson really has turned a corner recently, but I agree with you guys. There's something about if he's won 2 or 3 MVPs, time to get this done.
He is the AFC version of Dak Prescott right now.
Oh, that's an insult to Lamar Jackson. Dak Prescott doesn't win it.
You gotta win in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, but at least he's got
to win in the play. What's his record in the playoffs? Go ahead and look it up. It's below 500.
True story, but at least he's gotten to a conference championship. But you're right; he doesn't really have any excuses unless Flowers is out. They've got a solid D, not amazing, but solid.
Still got Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. I mean, those are no tight ends right there, and you still got some. You don't have really great receivers, but they don't have receivers. They got tight ends.
My question for you is: do you think that if they lose, do you think it's going to be more on Jackson or Harbaugh? Or do you think it'll be split? Because Harbaugh is starting to get some heat too. I think more heat will be on Jackson, but Harbaugh, if they fail to go to conference championship, I doubt the Ravens will have the cojones to do it. but I would start to explore moving on from him because they have had some playoff blunders that Jackson, you can blame him and the play style, but there's been so many coaching mistakes, especially last year's conference championship. That was not the first time. This team in big games, it's like mistake after mistake after mistake. And you can't blame the quarterback for every single one of those. He's not out there throwing picks left and right. He's not.
I'll let you go with that one.
Hold on. If they flipped Jim for John, how would you think of this Ravens team?
I think Jim
they'd be winning the Super Bowl.
could take it. I think Jim could take him to a Super Bowl.
I don't think John
it's not saying that John can't because he won the one against Jim, but at the same time, if I was to actually put blame on any particular person, I would actually put it on Zach Orr, the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
That's a good point too.
And
but the offense had issues in the conference championship too. Lamar didn't run enough, and the some of the play calling was just.
Well, that's
there.
because they're trying. Coach Munchkin, their offensive coordinator, was trying to make Lamar Jackson a hero.
Yeah.
Same thing that Pete Carroll did with Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm. That's why they got picked off in the end zone.
Yep.
And if you're to say that on the same token on the NFC side, which quarterback probably has the most pressure, I could actually say it's a toss-up between your boy Love.
Yeah, I agree.
Or Jared Goff.
I think Jalen Hurts if he plays too, because if they lose to the Packers, that's not a good look.
No.
I think Darnold's got a lot of pressure though too.
No one expected Darnold to do what he did this year. He's going to win the comeback player of the year this year.
True story. Peter, what do you think?
Yeah, NFC wise, I'm honestly going to say Love because he got paid. Now prove it.
Yeah, that's mainly it.
Yeah, because Darnold's waiting to see whether he's going to. Love did.
Okay, I got a final Bears question for you guys. What's it's the end of y'all season. Mine is probably gonna end this weekend, unfortunately. I wanted to do some season grades, but we're already an hour and a half, and we can save that for February when we, are sad the season's over. But actually, you know what? It's been a long season for me. I'm excited for the playoffs, and then I'll take my breather and hit mock draft stuff, and I'm gonna tap into NBA this time. But I don't know about Gino. That's an interesting take, really quick. Interesting. I just don't think there's as much expectations for Gino.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not me though. Like he's not in the playoffs, so I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Geno Smith to me is, Geno Smith does Geno Smith things. He didn't do crap when he was over in New York. He had 1 year where he looked pretty solid with Seattle, but I was waiting for the wagon to fall off anyway, and he did it last year. Geno is going to be one of those he is what you see as a bridge player.
Yeah.
And, he's just not going to be the guy that you see as a franchise quarterback. He never was looked at that way. He'll never be looked at that way. Their next player, I mean, hell, they trotted out Sam Howell, and Sam Howell made him look like like John Elway. And that's saying something. But Geno Smith, he's not that dude. He wasn't that dude when they gave him that money, and there's a reason why they gave him the contract they gave him, because it was franchise friendly.
Yeah.
What is the biggest thing you want the Bears to do this offseason?
Offensive line.
After coach.
You can know where I was going.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an easy answer. What's the one other position you want to upgrade? Or front office. It could be a front office move other than head coach.
I can give you two, and I'll let Peter go.
I like Coleman Shelton. Don't get me wrong. I see him better as a depth piece along the interior line anywhere because he can play multiple positions. I'd rather go get a legit starting center.
That'd be good.
You need that. Pass rusher, Damian says, which I agree.
with that too.
I think you guys are lacking in that. Like, Green Bay, both teams lack. What you got?
The one thing that I will say, and I'm gonna actually look up dude's name.
And then I don't know if you have any final questions for me before we boogie. I'm gonna try to have a show Friday, but like I said, if I have my tooth pulled, I probably won't. I want to do a Packers Eagles like deep dive preview, but we'll see where we're at.
Hey, hate to do this to you guys. Obviously, it's been a blast. I'll
Hey, thanks,
shoot
dude.
you a message later. Friend of mine in California is getting closer to being in the line where they may have to evacuate, so I gotta catch up with how they're doing.
Thanks, dude. No worries.
I'll talk to you guys in a bit.
See you, man.
All right, dude.
Later.
So what I'd actually say is get rid of Kevin Warren, the president, because
Yeah, for real.
if you want Ryan Poles to be able to have that direct line to the ownership, and that's been an issue that they've had in the past, is that the Bears ownership, as far as who owns them, have kind of taken a back step. Now, at the same time, a lot of people are like, hey, that might be a good thing. In some ways, it could be a bad thing, and you're the one that's paying us. We should probably be able to talk to you. So I think really and truthfully, they should just get rid of Kevin Warren, and that's the front office. As far as on the field, I mean, it's hard not to say the offensive line. One player that a lot of people are really looking at is Campbell from LSU as a left guard prospect because he has short arms. I do like the center talk. Pass rusher, I said that last year. I said that the Dunze pick that they picked, I thought they should have went with Dallas Turner. But, running back, definitely. Tight end, we got Cole Kmet right now. And if they get a decent backup, we'll be all right.
I'm not gonna put that comment up, but I agree with him. I agree. You got any questions for me, dude?
What do you want is there you gotta look it up real quick on potential free agencies, but you were talking about like an extra pass rusher or something like that. Who would you like the Packers to pursue?
Ooh. Yeah, I haven't dived into this yet because I'm still in playoff mode. You know what I mean? But once the Packers are out, I'm going to be diving into my mock drafts.
So next week,
probably. I think they have a chance if Hurts doesn't play. I just don't know. I need to know if the dude's going to play. So yeah. Hold on, I got to plug this in. It's going to die. 1 second. I forgot. 1 second.
Oh, we're about to be done anyway. So.
Yeah, I know, but it's at 5%. It could die during the show. So, okay, let's do this. Yeah, I wanted to keep it under an hour and a half, and there we are. But it's been fun. I think people enjoy watching me upset.
I know Damien is loving it.
Yeah, I'm entertaining. My wife thinks it's funny too. Okay, I'm looking. Hold on. T. Higgins. Trey Smith, the guard from the Chiefs, is going to be available. Javon Holland, Chris Godwin, but he's been hurt. Khalil Mack, I mean, he's too old, but damn, I would almost do that anyways. DJ Reed, Amari Cooper, Stanley. Man, there's not a lot of. Josh Sweat with the Eagles, that could be one.
That would actually be pretty solid.
It's not Reddick, but the dude's such a crybaby. I'm sorry, I don't want to do it. I just don't. When you get traded and don't play, I'm like, what? Rasul Douglas, I wouldn't mind getting him back. We never should trade him away. Boom. There you go. Yeah, hey, we'll pull you guys. We'll draft a punter. There you go. We actually have a pretty good punter. That's a funny thing. I would love to get Rasul Douglas back. Malcolm Kuntz from the Raiders is solid.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the first name I said, I think is what I want here. I think Josh Sweat. I think if we were to invest some actual money, Drake Greenlaw wouldn't be bad from the 49ers, even though our run D has been better. I wouldn't mind that. I got a fun one for you.
Go for it.
What if Aaron Jones leaves Minnesota and the Packers offer him a deal to be the Thunder and Lightning with Josh Jacobs? I think that'd be hella fun. I don't think the Vikings will let him go, but he did sign a 1-year deal.
I don't think it's going to be fun if that actually happened because I wanted him to get out of the division.
Well, yeah.
Because he has career games against us. Why would I want him to?
Hey, there's a lot of offensive linemen. I know you guys have Tevin Jenkins. He's actually 25th on PFF
Yeah, no,
of the top
Tevin
50.
Jenkins is actually pretty good.
But if Kevin Zeitler, if the Lions can't keep him, that'd be a good pickup for you guys. There's a lot of offensive linemen in the top 30. Not a lot of pass rushers, but we're gonna find out what happens. Like Nick Bolton is supposed to be a free agent, but I don't know if the Chiefs actually are gonna be able to afford to let him go. You know,
No, he's solid.
they've
Dude.
got, yeah, that would be if they can in any way afford to keep the guy. Oh wait, I got one. Oding, I can't say the guy's last name. Deo in Bingo from the Colts. I just don't watch enough Colts games. They suck. I like him. Not a lot of Chase Young from the Saints. I'd be down with that too, actually. That'd be pretty solid.
I'm not huge on I've never been huge with Chase Young.
No. I kind of want the Packers to actually swing for the fences here and try to pull a trade for a receiver or a pass rusher. I think it'd be awesome. Flip Alexander. I would trade Jair Alexander away. And if I were the Packers, I'd flip him in a second or a first and go big here. I don't think the Raiders are actually going to let Max Crosby go, but if he's even remotely available, there you go. That'd be the dude. But Micah Parsons becomes available. I just highly doubt any of those moves are going to happen. But I want them to get aggressive here because they have a lot of areas on the team covered up, but then they're lacking severely in other areas. So I'm hoping they get serious here because my team likes to play around and not get serious at times. Yes, I know we just signed Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney, but we tend to go cheap at receiver. We've done this forever, and I'm a little tired of it.
Bring back Jordy Nelson.
God, that'd be great. That'd be great. So what you got going on? You doing shots this week?
We'll be probably talking about the same thing that we're talking about right now, but a little more in depth because we won't spend 30 minutes just talking shit about your Packers.
Well, yeah, you don't got anybody to clown on. It's no fun. 5 minutes and then you're gonna be done.
Well, I mean, at the same time, I look at it like this. I mean, my buddy's a Falcons fan, so I mean,
oh yeah, just say Kirk Cousins. He'll just be livid.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Oh wait, this one's good too. I like this one. I don't care who the Packers get in free agency as long as it's not Justin Fields. Just so you guys all know, future plans. We may be launching a Patreon for the show. I started to buy me a coffee, and might have some X subscriptions up for Fun Football. I am going to make the show more fantasy oriented. Me and Med are going to be doing a dynasty league together, so you can expect a lot of trash talk between the two of us. I'm very excited. And like I said, I don't know if I'm going to have the show on Friday. I really want to, but it depends on if I have a tooth pulled because, frankly, it has nothing to do with not wanting to talk about the game. They're in the playoffs. I want to, but we'll see. So I will let y'all know probably early Thursday. So that's what I got going on. We'll be back next week, and if the Packers lose, Med can have another field day.
I do like my field days,
even if it's close. So, all right, Med, where can everybody find you?
Well, I mean, they can find me here, which will be going to Monday night soon. And you can also find me every Thursday night before Thursday Night Football, which is no longer around. So I won't be competing with it at 7:15 p.m. With my buddy Seth. So
better ratings. You might beat some basketball games. Who knows?
Never know. Never know.
Speaking of basketball, where do you think Jimmy Butler gets traded to really fast? Because we are going to start chucking NBA in this show, guys. Just
yeah, so we're doing the same thing on mine. If to be honest, if I was a GM and with the crap that he's pulling down there in Miami, and I'm very stingy on this, is I would not even try for it. But
I wouldn't either.
If he was to actually go somewhere, I could actually see him going to a contender like Dallas. I could see him going to the Lakers. Like to collect old pieces. I mean, they still got LeBron James. I mean, why not put another guy that could begin as a ARP card in the next couple of years? So, I mean, but yeah, no, it's
thanks, buddy. Did you see that?
The Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Packers
They're really good at almost winning.
Yeah, we are. It's great.
I'm trying to think of another team, but really Dallas is the main one that really pokes out for me, and I'm
What about
trying to think of
Houston?
one that would be in the East.
Houston?
Houston, maybe, but they don't really. Are they a contender? I mean,
Honestly, I'm gonna be frank. I'm gonna start doing my NBA stuff and my mock drafts and
Milwaukee.
my fantasy when the Packers are out. Ooh, Milwaukee. Yeah, they like
Milwaukee
old
was
pieces.
actually be a good fit for them.
Milwaukee likes old pieces too.
They do, but they do have a number one or two. They got Damian Lillard and they got
And Milwaukee's
Giannis.
fifth in the they're fifth in the East. They're barely above 500 right now.
Yeah,
They
they're
could use it.
actually the team I could actually see him going there because he will definitely be a great stopper for him.
Houston's legit. They're actually second in the West.
Really,
You can believe that. They're ahead of Memphis.
I need to
Denver,
watch more
and the
NBA.
Lakers. The Lakers, even though their point differential is negative, they're fifth right now. They're ahead of Dallas. It's the Lakers defense that's keeping them in games. So is Dallas's actually. They're actually pretty good on D.
So I will say this about Derrick Rose is I think him getting his number retired by Chicago is really cool. He did deserve that, but I do not think he's a Hall of Fame. But then again, they talk about the Hall of Fame in basketball, and they said it's actually one of the easiest ones to get into.
We flipped to NBA, and then Chris Beat hops on.
Yeah,
we are going to be, guys, just so you know, this is not just an NFL show. We love it, but me and Matt intend to talk some NBA moving forward because NFL's sadly is almost over. It's been a fun season though. We got the playoffs still, but you know, Matt, I actually think Rose could be like one of those late Hall of Famers, maybe. I just don't know. He missed so much time. I don't know. You're good, man. I was just clowning. You're good. So I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. But all right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap. This was a lot of fun, guys. Like I said, you could maybe catch me on Friday. If not, I'll be back next week, hopefully celebrating the Packer victory. But this show, I'm gonna go ahead and put it up on Spotify. I've been starting to put them back up. Moving forward, I will do my best to get this one on a Cheesy Bear thing, but they will be on their own podcast on Spotify, not just on Fun Footballs. So, but thank you to the almost 500 listening. If you actually, there's 500 watching, we appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
And yeah, moving forward, we'll probably have the show on Mondays. My wife was buying a car yesterday, so I was not here. But yeah, well, you guys can catch us on Monday nights since there's no Monday Night Football to compete with.
Which I've been doing for the whole season. So awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
With both of them now.
All right. Eventually, we'll get a new intro too. That'll be in the works in the off season, I'm guessing, right at this point. So we are the Cheesy Bear.
I want to get one too. Honestly, I want to bring one back with the music. I want to talk to you about it. But all right, guys, we will. We'll see you soon.
All right. Later.